Hello, it's a perfectly glorious late afternoon here in Central Virginia. Today I'm going to plant some eggplant. I'm going to plant this particular eggplant in my in-ground garden, and then I'm going to also show you how to plant them in a fabric pot or grow bag. I'm going to be planting 4 different kinds of eggplant today. One is the traditional black beauty, and that's the one that you most often see. Interestingly enough, that's not been my best grower in the past few years, but I'm growing it this year as part of a group growing project that my garden group has going on right now. So I'm going to give it a go and see if I can baby it along. I'm going to put one in ground and one in a container to see if there's any difference there. I also have a Rosita eggplant, and I have several little fingers. The ones that are struggling the most right now are the ping tongue longs. I'll show you the difference. This is my black beauty. It's doing very well. This has dirt on it. These are the ping tongue longs. So hopefully when they get in the ground, they will perk up a little bit. I'm hoping that's the main part of their problem. Plant these in ground. I'm going to use a little bit of just organic granular fertilizer, 343 organic granular, and I'm going to wash it in, as I always do with my transplants, with a fish fertilizer. Because they need a little bit of TLC down the road, I'm going to give them a feeding of Neptune's Harvest in about a month, and then a month after that as well. So hopefully I'll get some good eggplant growing this year. Let's go and do it. For those of you who follow me, you might recognize my garden. I'm towards the southern corner of my garden. This bed in the foreground was one of my tomato sauce patches last year, but I'm going to put the eggplant in it this year. I have my eggplants all laid out. I have 8 eggplants in this bed. I'm also going to be coming in later and putting in some boundary marigolds and some basil, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Mainly I just want to get these plants in the ground. This is just pretty much like planting the tomatoes. And this soil is very rich. It's got loads of compost in it. I am going to throw a little fertilizer in, just around the planting hole. That's nice and rich. You go, little eggplant. Tuck you in for the night. I hope you grow up to be a strong little eggplant. All right, here's another little fingers. Now you will notice that I have poles already in the ground. I'm going to be moving those most likely. One of the things that's really important to do with your eggplant, because mine just get hit hard by flea beetles. They hit my potatoes and my tomatoes a little bit, but eggplant really takes the greatest hit from the flea beetles. So what I do, and I'll come out and probably do this in another few days, flea beetles are not shown up yet. I say yet, they will definitely show up. They always do. I will cover this with netting to keep them out. It really is one of the only ways I know how to keep them out. The problem is you can't keep that netting on forever. So you can only do that when there are no flowers, because these flowers will need to be pollinated if you actually want to get some eggplant to eat. Right. So I'm going to finish planting this bed, and then I'll meet you over in the containers to show you how to plant them in the containers. Now I'm outside of my garden, just on the eastern edge here. This is the northeastern edge. So these will get actually awesome sun, because east is this way, right over here, and sun will come up, they'll shine down all the way till they get to the west, all the way till it gets to the west. So they pretty much will get great sun. I grew a couple of eggplants last year in fabric pots and just another container. And I did find it was a little easier to manage the flea beetles. I think because they're up a little bit higher, and so they don't, jump up from the ground as high. I have 4 20-gallon grow bags. Those are pretty big. I could probably fit 2 in, but I'll probably just put 1 in because the ping tongue long that I did in the 20-gallon did fine last year. And then I have 1 10-gallon grow bag, which may or may not get an eggplant in it. I'm not sure. So I'm hoping that this also is going to be a bit of a barrier, because I think eggplant is not something that deer go after. At least that's what I'm hoping. Although this has been prepped really well with the fertilizer, a lot of compost, and just normal potting mix. The key thing about growing in containers is you've got to water frequently, and they do need to be fertilized. My other ones don't really have to be fertilized, but I'm going to do some, I'll put some fish emulsion on them now and then feed them maybe in about a month or 6 weeks again. All right, that's very simple to do. See, we're just going to water that in now really well. You've got to keep up on your watering when you're growing in containers, because containers are going to dry out and all that watering is going to leach out your nutrients. And so you just want to keep up on all of that. Next thing I'm going to do is just put a tomato cage around these, carefully trying not to spear the plant, the roots, or the leaves, which I'm about to do. A little unwieldy when you're working with a hand that doesn't really want to do. Here we go. We'll put it in. I think we'll pull that one like that. Whoopsie. Here we go. We'll push that all the way down in so it's nice and sturdy. That plant will grow up. This will be plenty of support for that lovely eggplant. So that's all there is to it. It's so simple to do. And if you haven't grown food, grow food. I've been at this now, not my whole life. I'm fairly new to this. This is my 5th year in this particular garden. It's my baby, my big baby, but I love growing food. I love feeding people. And no, we can't eat it all ourselves. So I give it to my neighbors and I give it to people who come to visit the winery sometime as well. So, do remember to like, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And it would be nice if you would share and tell others about this channel as well. I'm just trying to grow it a little bit more because I have really enjoyed meeting so many new people, quote unquote, meeting new people and interacting with people about all things garden. So there you go. Take care. Bye.